Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
The most notable news, or I guess debatably the most notable news, Ted Cruz has suspended his campaign after being crushed by Donald Trump. We see Trump delivers a knockout in Indiana as Cruz drops out of the race.
From the beginning, I've said that I would continue on as long as there was a viable path to victory. Tonight, I'm sorry to say, it appears that path has been foreclosed. Together, we left it all on the field in Indiana.
Help me, John Kasich. You're my only hope. I'm laughing here because today is Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And John Kasich put out this campaign ad saying that you need to vote for him because he's the last hope.
A study of more than 44,000 Americans across all 50 states reveals that Governor John Kasich is the only GOP presidential contender that could get more electoral, that is, college votes, than Hillary Clinton and beat her in the general election.
And then he got out of the race. So I guess the Sith Lords came down on him pretty harshly, and he decided to abandon his campaign. And we have the article right here. John Kasich is ending his presidential candidacy, and they point out that after Indiana, Trump has 1,046 delegates, while Kasich has just 152 delegates. And I believe that's even fewer than Marco Rubio had when he was in the race, how many months ago. So Kasich was never really in it. And beyond that, he's been quoted as saying that he didn't have his heart in the campaign anyway, which, as we were talking about at lunch, myself and Joe Biggs, he was like, well, that kind of sucks for all of his supporters and donors that put into his campaign that his heart's really not in it. But the news of last night didn't just center around the GOP. It also had news about Bernie Sanders. Some people call it an upset. I just say it's a flat-out victory for Sanders. I'm not going for Sanders, but I think the guy does need a fair shake and a fair representation in this election, and he had a victory over Mrs. Clinton. Granted that she already had superdelegates before the whole thing even began, so it wasn't that big of a brouhaha for Bernie Sanders, but it shows that people are into Sanders. He does have a following. We go out, we do these man on the streets every week. Sanders, Sanders, Sanders. Every now and then you run into a Hillary supporter, but it's mostly Sanders, at least here in the city of Austin. It may be different where you are. So I know the guy does have support, and I want him to get a fair shake in this election because quite honestly, I don't know how Sanders would do in a debate against Trump, but I think Hillary would just not have a very good time. She has a lot of skeletons in the closet that I know Trump is not scared to pull out of there, be like the Scooby-Doo deal, skeletons falling out the closet everywhere. But we'll see what happens on this as it continues. Now, as we're talking about Donald Trump, I have to give the guy credit where credit is due. If you saw the Alex Jones show a little bit earlier today, we all came in here during the 4th hour. And while I'm not a supporter of Trump, I'm also not a supporter of Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton, I do recognize this man has overcome overwhelming odds, a continuous, negative, nasty media campaign to smear him in every way possible. As I always say about the guy, there are legitimate things you can criticize, the torture and the wall and other things as well. I know he says a lot of off-color things, but just sticking to his campaign in general, his platform in general, people so often misconstrue what this guy says. They say he wants to deport all the Muslims. I've never heard him say that. They say he wants to deport all the Mexicans. I never heard him say that. But they have such a strong campaign against this guy. I have to give him props that he overwhelmingly trumped this, to use the word, and came out on top. And we see this article, and this says the Never Trump numbers. You guys know the hashtag Never Trump campaign. The television ad campaign to defeat Donald Trump was at least $75 million. According to an ad tracking firm, it comprised of nearly 64,000 ad spots throughout the campaign. A pro-Marco Rubio group spent the most against Trump. We see Ted aired a group of ads, the second most against Trump. Little Jebby and his super PAC spent nearly $10 million to Trump, and Mrs. Clinton thus far has spent an estimated $5.2 million on ads, all to come up with butt kiss because this guy is still leading in the polls. Love him or hate him. Personally, I'm going for McAfee 2016. Pick your poison, but the guy has overcome the odds, and I do give him credit for that. And as I was saying earlier on the show, I'm glad to see that a person can go against the mainstream media and win. We saw a similar thing with Rand Paul when he stepped out of the debates several months ago and hosted his own event. Very popular. Donald Trump did a similar thing, very popular. And it shows that you do not have to be a slave to the mainstream apparatus. You do not have to go and play nice with the pundits. You don't have to be on their shows. You don't have to, play by their rules, let them do all the dirty tricks and all these other things they want to do, surprise guests, all this other kind of crap. You can go out on your own and make your own way. And he's done that, and I do give him props for that, even though I'm not going to vote for him.
A lot of people ask me, what is the most important area of Infowars that runs the whole operation that is having such a big effect against the globalists? And I've said it over and over again, it is you, the listeners and the viewers, that send us the intel, the news tips, that support the broadcast, that spread the word. You are 90% of the operation or more. You don't stand beside us, you stand at the heart of Infowars. When I talk about the people at Infowars, from customer service, the shipping department, being just as important as our anchors, our researchers, our investigative journalists, and myself, it's absolutely true. Without this team that we've built over the last 20 plus years, we wouldn't be able to do any of what we've been doing. And that's what's so exciting, because we finally built up to a point where we now have the launch pad. Introducing AutoShip for InfoWarsLife.com, a new way to save time and money when you stock up on InfoWarsStore.com products. Again, ladies and gentlemen, when products are sold out, you're unable to get them, sometimes for months, but we hold back the products for people that have already signed up for AutoShip. When you choose AutoShip before checkout on your order at InfoWarsStore.com, we'll give you 10% off and give you guaranteed delivery of out-of-stock products that are on your AutoShip list. Plus, we're giving you free shipping on all orders above $50. Listeners have been requesting this for years because it's so easy to forget to reorder the products when you need them each month. Now it's finally here. AutoShip at InfoWarsStore.com and InfoWarsLife.com. It's easy. Go to InfoWarsStore.com, select your favorite product, click on the AutoShip, and choose how often you want us to send you another order. As you know, I coined the term 360 win, and with the new AutoShip feature at InfoWarsLife.com, it's a sure win. You add to that free shipping on orders of $50, it is a can't lose. Visit InfoWarsStore.com and save 10% off on your next InfoWars Life order by selecting AutoShip at checkout, and get free shipping on all orders above $50. That's InfoWarsStore.com, or call toll-free 888-253-3139.